Hey everybody, Charlie and R2 here. Welcome back to Disco Elysium, the final cut. When we last left off, we got a free room over here in the fishing village. We tried to shave off our chops, our mutton chops, but we failed because we have horrible hand-eye coordination. So now we're down here talking to the group of drunks, and we're going to see if we can figure out anything else. Let's talk to Don't Call Abigail.
Don't call Abigail.
Let me guess. Where are you? What is your name? He's going to say, don't call Abigail.
Don't call Abigail.
Where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
I demand you answer my questions.
The drunk man starts coughing a really disgusting, hacking cough.
Okay. Why shouldn't I call Abigail?
He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
Lean in.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
He then waves his hands as if shooing you away. His breath smells harsh like a toxic swamp as he whispers to you.
Don't call.
Okay. The man stammers. Slowly his head nods off to the side and he passes out, tongue dangling from his mouth. Okay. What about you, guy? You got anything else for us?
The legend! He's back. And firstly, I got smokes and piss and a little speed to spice things up.
Do we know each other?
Sure, friend. You know it.
He points a finger pistol at you and squeezes the trigger.
Yeah, Rosie was there too, for your ocean-based antics. We all were. Unforgettable night.
Amphetamine?
Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed.
I thought by speed you meant amphetamine.
Aye, that's what I said.
Got it.
Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Speed will give you motorics, psyche, and take away morale. I'm off. Alright, nothing else here. Let's go to the church and try to figure out what else we can possibly do. Whoop. I keep bringing that up. Shift and tab brings up the Steam overlay. I'm holding shift to run. I'm hitting tab to see highlighted items. I bring up the Steam overlay. Alright, here is the church. Let's see, we gotta figure out what the pail is. I really have no clue. But we did bring her a radio.
Yes, what is it?
Yeah, pail is unknown. Found a radio transceiver.
Ah, very good. Let's see what you have.
I found this in an office by the harbor. Use the perfectly adequate transceiver. Now, since this is being described as perfectly adequate transceiver, it makes me feel like there are better transceivers and maybe worse transceivers to find. And maybe we get to choose which one we give her. Don't know where we can find them. I thought we could probably buy one from the pawn shop, but I thought we could find one in her old office. That was not the case. So here you go. Here's the one I found in the office by the harbor.
Not the most advanced model, but at least everything appears to be in order. Yes, this should serve our purposes.
She turns a few dials and then sets the transceiver aside.
No further comment necessary.
Thanks, interfacing.
I believe that means we're ready to get started. I should warn you, once we begin setting up this antenna, we'll need to see the whole process through. There won't be any second chances, any do-overs. You understand?
Sure.
So if there's anything you'd like to get in order before we depart, I suggest you do it now.
What do you mean? What kind of stuff should I get in order?
That's up to you. At a minimum, I would make sure you are physically and mentally prepared for an intense and difficult process. Once we begin, there can be no interruptions.
Okay.
At the very least, you should make sure you're wearing a good pair of gloves.
Okay.
Radio engineers typically carry overpriced solvent sprays to clean the antenna connections. But in a pinch, some common ammonia works just fine.
Is that what I sold the pawn shop?
Finally, there's the question of stimulants. Some people prefer to keep illegal amphetamines on hand to help with their work. I'm not one of them, but they do exist.
The ammonia. Overpriced solvent sprays to clean the antennas, but ammonia works just fine. So this isn't the first time you hung around Speed Freaks, is it?
It is possible that technical fields attract a certain kind of personality. I haven't given it much thought.
Wait, did you say we need some kind of power supply?
Ah, yes. I wasn't sure what to do about that, but then I discovered an abandoned power source down by the edge of the bay.
It's obvious she's referring to your half-sunken Caprice 40. You mean the motor carriage that crashed in the bay?
Oh, yes. I did notice that it was covered in police livery. Then you already know that the carriage itself is irreparable, but the rear-mounted engine seems to be in fine working order. My intention is to run a power cable from the engine up to the antenna. It won't last forever, but it should give us enough time to establish a connection with Coalition warship Archer.
So, if I pawn that ammonia to the pawn shop, can I buy it back? Hang on, need some time to prepare.
That's fine. Return to me when you're ready to go.
Alright, was that even ammonia? I think it was. Let's go get it real quick. If it'll even let us get it. We're going to run straight there. If you can't buy it, we'll come straight back and we'll go ahead and start. We have plenty of health, plenty of morale, plenty of charges for both. I imagine we'll fail checks that'll hurt us, especially one with cleaning connections with ammonia if we can't get that ammonia back, which is fine, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. What is the quickest way back? Follow the coast here. Alright, there we go. This will take us through the fishing village. We can cut straight over. Pawn shop is luckily just right on the other side, so it shouldn't take too long. Plus, you know, I just really like Bird's Nest Roy. He's a good dude. He's just vibing, you know. Yeah. Power source. There's the trap. Should we check that?
The trap is full of...
Yep, nothing. Can we go in here? No. Alright, let's run over to Bird's Nest. See if we can buy our ammonia back. We've already got a room for the night. Well, we've got 2. We probably could have saved some money by just sleeping in the fishing village. Alright, let's go here. Yeah, I really feel like I'm running out of tasks to do, but it may refresh with each day. Alright, this was the little figures.
You see rows of toy soldiers.
This was the radio.
All the old boot.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Happen to have any guns? Might be able to evade my investigation. Know anything about the traffic menace? I have something else to sell.
Sure. Let me have a look.
Fascinating photo of a corpse here. Check my pockets. Pawn
Anything
menu.
else you're thinking of selling?
So we can't buy back, can we? Doesn't look like it.
Another time, perhaps.
Might be able to aid my investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dock.
Okay, it doesn't look like we can buy it back, so we're just gonna go for it. Hopefully this will take up some time too, because to be honest, I'm kind of out of tasks for today. So we'll go set up this radio antenna. There is a journal. I think it's just saying, yeah, contact the coalition. All right, let's do it. So yeah, go across the lock. We can try authority again, but I think we need a level up for that. We used our level up to try to make a few skill check passes. Whoa, what's there? Just another Van Eyck? Yeah. Don't know if that helps us any. Also, if we come down here, is there anything over here? Just that bench. We can use the bench because Kim is not with us. So if we finish this church mission and then there's nothing else to do, I guess we'll sit on the bench till 2100 and go to bed for the night. We can also talk to the individual with the drunk guys and have him tell us a story. That'll take up time as well. Time will help us conceptualize these thoughts in our thought cabinet. That should give us some good bonuses, hopefully. Alright. Let's talk to her again.
Yes, what is it?
I'm ready.
Very good. If you'll help me with some of this equipment then.
Sure.
If you'll please carry that amplifier and cables, officer. We have quite a lot to carry.
Sure. Breakthrough imminent. T500. I failed to check exactly what time it was to see how far in the future we're going to go. Okay. Power cable's hooked up. Is that a wheel? We have it hooked to a wheel? Or is it just holding it down? More cables. Run across the street. Is that her? It is. Alright, just hit continue.
And now if you'll just connect that here.
Got it.
We're ready to try at least. Please put those on. I've configured the channels so that only your microphone is set to broadcast. We'll both be able to listen, but anyone we reach will only hear your voice.
Okay.
You will need to transmit your connection request while I attempt to locate the warship's public frequency. You will likely encounter some interference, but it's important to keep transmitting your request until you're acknowledged. Ready?
Yes.
Good. Beginning transmission.
Horseback antenna.
A soft rustling. The snow seems to have gotten between your ears somehow.
Where's the sound coming from?
Every light switch, every motor carriage, every doorbell, tea kettle, and radio in Martinez, all mingled with electrical interference caused by scattered thunderstorms over Ozone.
Okay.
Officer, are you in order? We're waiting for you to start.
What should I say? Coalition Warship Archer, this is RCM Officer Tequila Sunset. Please acknowledge. Coalition Warship Archer, this is Detective Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau of the RCM. Please acknowledge. Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Harrier Dubois of the RCM. Real name? Code name? Fake name? What should I say?
We don't have time for indecision. Just say whatever first comes to mind.
Harrier Dubois.
Is there anybody there?
Try again, officer.
Same thing. This is Lieutenant Dubois.
Nein, Liebling. Unseren Jungen nach Bredepost. Einen dieser Dinger.
Deutsch. Hello, Archer. Do you acknowledge?
Marianne hat mir erzählt, dass Oscar nicht mehr, seit er auf einem Luftschiff aus Grab zurückgekommen ist. Sie halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal. Aber sie hat das Gefühl, seit seiner Rückkehr mit einem Fremden zusammenzuleben.
Okay, I only know enough Deutsch to order food, ask directions, and introduce myself. Other than that, I know enough to just get confused.
You can't make out a word of this gibberish.
Keep listening.
Liebling, bitte. Ist unser einziges Kind. Kann doch auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
Keep trying, officer. We'll get a signal through eventually.
Something, please. Is Academy. Okay. Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois. If you're there, Archer, please acknowledge.
Again?
Do it again.
It's cold now.
A slight frisson at the point where your neck meets your spine. You can feel the lieutenant's presence, even though he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he just said it's cold now. I just noticed that. He said it's cold now. He's not even here. How did you get on my connection?
There's no way the lieutenant has his own megalofrequency connection. Very strange.
Very strange indeed. Did she hear it too?
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Ooh. Do we have multiple dimensions going on? What is he talking about?
I believe you mean, what was he talking about?
Timelines.
It's been a long winter. Long and cold.
Continue.
It sounds very much like anthroponetic crosstalk. It happens sometimes when sending transmissions across long stretches of pale.
What is the pale? We need to know what the pale is.
Outwardly, she exudes calm, but there's something disturbing about this thought to her. Pale, 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 pale. Seems to be missing from your records.
Impossible.
Natürlich halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal.
Psychologian for welcome normal. Naturally stop in his psychologic something becoming normal. Am I like unconscious and reliving this through my mind or something and hearing like the outside world? Becoming normal. Maybe we should try this again later?
There won't be any later. This is our chance. Now please keep going.
Coalition Warship Archer, do you acknowledge this is Lieutenant Dubois?
But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Ah, you just said that, Kim. But Kim's not even here. What's going on?
Dubois, please acknowledge.
Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois. Can you hear me?
Liebling, bitte. Ist unser einziges Kind.
Liebling. Listen, please? Is that listen? Under something.
Warship Archer, please identify.
The signals are getting increasingly mixed. Plucking Archer's signal from this will be like isolating a single strand from a tangle of hair.
Man, I'm failing all these checks. I forgot to put my good gloves on. Urgh.
It's not working. The crosstalk is simply too strong.
What can we do?
I did not expect simply locating the signal to be so difficult.
She appears to be concentrating very intently.
We must consider several variables. Local anthroponetic conditions, the sophistication of our transceiver, the quality of our connections, and the physics of our antenna itself. Our transceiver is perfectly capable, so there is no problem there. And we're also unlikely to change our local anthroponetic conditions. So, the next step is to thoroughly inspect our connections.
Okay. How am I supposed to inspect the connections?
You need to climb up there and look at them for yourself.
She stares at you as though it were obvious. Her hand gestures to the colorful cables dangling from the horse's forehooves. But you don't have the technical expertise.
Someone has been maintaining it.
Something about this setup seems dimly familiar, but you'll be damned if you know what you're supposed to do about it.
Okay, but I don't know what I'm doing. What if I slip and fall? Let's do it. Ah, I forgot to put the gloves on. Please don't fall, Harry. Digging the music, by the way. Oh, this is much higher than it appears. This is where that ammonia would have been helpful.
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. This feels pleasingly familiar.
Have we done this before?
You don't exactly cut a lithesome figure, but after several moments of scrambling, you manage to hoist yourself atop the monument.
Well, we're there. Dude, don't stand. Hold on with 3 points of contact.
That performance was frankly an embarrassment.
Examine the connections.
The connection itself is nothing more than a little braid of exposed wire wrapped about the hoof of the horse. A copper fetter, it cannot slip. The whole monument is covered in a thin but durable layer of oil and grime. It's obvious no one has cleaned it in years.
Programmer mentioned ammonia, but anything alcoholic should dissolve the oils, creating a cleaner and clearer connection. Pour some alcohol on there.
It takes a few moments, but the alcohol gradually begins to break down the oils surrounding the copper wiring.
What are you doing? Oh, cleaning the connections. Smart.
Thankfully, we had a bottle of alcohol. How funny is it that alcohol is actually the solution, quite literally, to our problems here? And it is also in itself a solution.
Once the oils have been dissolved, you wipe off the connections with your sleeve and reattach the cable.
Did that help?
It seems to have made some difference, but unfortunately not enough to alter the overall situation.
Okay.
Unser einziges Kind. Kann doch auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
Academy again.
Short of changing the shape of the antenna, I'm not sure what else we can do from here. And the lorries are all jammed together, so that's unlikely to happen.
How do we change the shape of the antenna?
What do you mean? You adjust the antenna manually, with your hands.
What would change in the shape too?
Ideally, narrow the receiving mode so that we can isolate the warship signal and eliminate the crosstalk. But if you don't know what you're doing, of course you could just make it worse.
But I mean, does it matter if it gets worse if it's not working now?
I'm afraid we're out of alternatives. You're just going to have to go for it.
Got you.
She's right. The responsibility is yours, and yours alone. There's no turning back now.
Interfacing 5 gives us anti-object prejudice. I thought just because we had the thought and we didn't internalize it didn't mean that we had that. Okay. Red check cannot be retried. Look at Felipe III.
You are face to face with Philip III. The Bronze King looks toward the west. Something about his features seems bizarrely distorted.
Not intentionally, it's a matter of perspective. The king was never meant to be seen from such an angle as you've attained. Look at the horse.
This faithful steed is in nearly as poor a condition as its rider.
Look up.
The sky is grey and overcast. Snow spirals all around you. Through the scrim, you can just make out the shadow of Coalition warship Archer a few kilometers to the east.
Look down.
A few of the idle lorry drivers and strikebreakers gesture at you with their cigarettes, more out of curiosity than anything else. From the window of one of the adjacent apartment buildings, an older woman leans out, her heavy breasts sagging.
Continue.
She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk.
So we have to do this 3% check. So we're going to fail this. We'll probably get hurt. This is where we fall, right? Well, that didn't work. So did we fail this mission completely now? You allow the broken hunk of metal to clatter to the ground. It wasn't clear to you that it did anything anyway.
Nein, Liebling.
What are you doing? The connection is even worse now. This is extremely unprofessional.
I was trying to do good.
But you didn't. You made things worse.
That's kind of how his whole life has gone, it seems.
She's right. This was your responsibility.
Damn it. I'm going to push the power supply. I doubt it will last more than a few minutes, so you'd better make them count.
Alright, let's do it. Let's somehow talk to Kim from a different time.
A maelstrom of sound, swirling and swirling around an invisible point. It's mounting. Mounting.
Nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit er auf einem Luftschiff aus Graz zurückgekommen ist.
Lieutenant Dubois, please respond.
It's too much. Your eardrums are throbbing, about to burst. Impossible.
A long winter, long and cold.
Kim!
And then, nothing.
Try it now.
Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Harry Dubois of the RCM. Please acknowledge.
This is Warship Archer. We are acknowledging and accepting you. Though we're still getting quite a bit of interference.
Yeah, I can tell.
This is the best we can do. I suggest you get to your business quickly. I doubt I'll be able to maintain even this connection very long.
There is so much you wish you could ask, but you probably only have time for 1 or 2 questions before the signal is lost.
1 or 2 questions.
Please be advised that you are speaking on a public frequency. What is your request?
What does Revachol look like from up there? Who am I speaking with? What does the moral intern really want? When is real democracy coming to Revachol? Listen, I really need to reach the Committee of Responsibility. I mean, I really don't want to ask any of these. I need to reach the Committee of Responsibility.
Acknowledge. To reach the committee, all you need to do is fill out the appropriate request form and submit it to the Liaison for Public Affairs. If the liaison accepts your request, you will be invited to address the committee at their next quarterly public hearing. We believe the next hearing is scheduled for July.
Man. What if I need to reach the committee a bit sooner?
Not a problem. If this is a time-sensitive matter, you may file an emergency address request with the Liaison for Public Affairs. They typically respond within a few weeks.
Actually, I was hoping you could patch me through to the committee directly.
We're afraid that is quite impossible, Lieutenant Dubois.
What do you mean?
We cannot transfer you to the committee because we are not entrusted with that responsibility. We are simply the second signaler.
So I get it. The real power is even higher up.
That is the nature of the command pyramid, yes. Most modern organizations work in a similar way, even the RCM.
Continue.
This line of argument is quite pointless. You should abandon it.
3%, go.
What part of need to reach the committee doesn't she understand? Time to lay it all out.
Well, this is going to fail. You aren't listening. I've got an urgent personal matter to discuss with the committee.
We will hear your request, Lieutenant Dubois. Although we must inform you that the committee does not typically intervene in personal matters.
That's only because they haven't heard about your problems yet.
The thing is, I cannot remember anything.
So, you're experiencing acute memory loss. We don't see how this is the committee's business.
Pretty sure it has to do with something I lost.
We're afraid we don't understand at all. What does this something have to do with your lost memory?
I had it, but now I don't, and I don't know what to do about it. I prefer to speak with the committee directly.
Unfortunately, we cannot accept your request. We really have no idea what you're talking about, but we are quite sure it is beyond the purview of the committee of responsibility. Now, please excuse us while we update the receiving frequency. This connection will be cleared in 4, 3...
Man, we didn't accomplish anything with this, did we?
Quick, hang up on her first.
I mean, should we? Disconnect before she clears the line.
And the line goes quiet. There, you really showed her.
Yeah, we surely did. Yeah, showed her what, though?
What a disappointment. I was almost sure something truly interesting was about to happen.
Yeah, me too.
You can calm down now, officer. I'm going to begin packing my things up.
Just give me a minute.
There's a damp cold running up the insides of your thighs. Your legs have grown stiff. You've been up here quite a while. You look around. The strikebreakers are still shouting their slogans and waving their hand-painted signs. Beneath you, the programmer has begun disconnecting a few cables.
Volition. There's really no point. You're beginning to feel like the little child who refuses to come off the carousel. Come down.
Good. Now give me a hand with these amplifiers. Leave the cables. I don't feel like making 2 trips.
That was very anticlimactic. Those checks were pretty rough, though. And I also forgot to put on good gear for this. Alright, sounds like we're back in the church.
Well, this was an interesting collaboration.
We make a pretty good team, Suna.
Really? I do not think we were all that successful. But maybe the RCM has a different definition of success.
Well, your definition of success was making contact with them, which we did.
In any event, just leave that equipment here. I'll put it away later. If you'd like, you can take one of the extra headsets. I don't need so many spares.
Hey, we got a headset.
Now, you'll excuse me. I have to get back to my own work.
And we will check this next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.